Coming up on Mountain News this morning, with snow and ice continuing to hang around, we hear from road crews about the challenges they have to endure. And the man accused of shooting 2 National Guard members near the White House in November appears in court for a federal hearing.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Welcome to Mountain News This Morning. I'm Neely Green here with you on this Thursday, February 5th. The time is now 6:02, and let's check in with meteorologist Megan Desmond for a look at your forecast. Megan, it is cold.
Yes, Neely, it is very cold out there, and I'm tired of it. I mean, it's been a very cold 2026 so far. Thankfully, we're starting to see the end of that trend next week. Not yet. We're looking at some single digits this morning. It is currently 9 degrees in Moorhead. It's 10 degrees in Louisa, 19 in Pikeville, 25 in Manchester, 19 in Somerset. So it's cold, and unfortunately it is going to stay that way as it has been, again, for so long at this point. Many folks are looking at temperatures ranging in the 30s, but there are many that are below freezing for today. Just a reminder, freezing is 32 degrees. We're looking at that on Clintwood, Louisa, Somerset, and colder than that, 31 in Mount Vernon, London, Prestonsburg, 29 in Jackson and Moorhead, and that's the high temperatures for today. So many folks are going to see minimal melting, especially with cloudy skies in the forecast all day long. We're already starting to see the clouds now, and that's just going to be the trend as we continue throughout the day. So here's a look at that 12-hour forecast for you. Clouds, clouds, and more clouds, unfortunately. Neely.
Megan, thank you. There's no denying last month's winter storm has been very challenging for road crews. With the snow and ice not melting, that has caused some issues, especially in rural communities. Ben Beddoes spoke with Rockcastle County's road department about those challenges.
It's been about 10 days since a significant winter storm dropped a ton of snow and ice in our region. And that snow and ice really hasn't melted. This has caused major headaches for folks like the Rockcastle County Road Department. Mark Blanton, Rockcastle County Road Department Supervisor, says he's satisfied with how road crews have tackled main roads.
Guys on the blacktop have done a really good job. We still like quite a bit of pushing back on some of the very rural roads.
Blanton says many of the main roads have been cleared. It's those gravel roads like the ones behind me that can't really be touched.
Gravel roads has been a very big issue with us right now because they're froze with ice 3 or 4 inches thick.
The challenge with gravel roads is that they have to be treated differently. If you try and plow those roads, it can tear up the road more. For gravel roads, it really just comes down to waiting for it to melt.
Yeah, we're spreading rock chips. It's number 11 rock that comes out of a mine that's very dry. It works pretty good to give them traction. As far as cutting them down, the road grader will not cut the ice off the road.
With the nature of how this storm played out and the cold temperatures that have stuck around for some time, Blanton says the situation is unlike many others.
I feel like it is as far as the ice situation goes. We've dealt with it a little bit, but not hardly as bad as it is this time.
In Rockcastle County, I'm Ben Beddoes, WKYT.
Blanton says they had to help the schools clear the parking lots, and that itself took 3 days. In Greenup County, a woman is being treated for injuries she suffered behind the wheel. The woman was driving on Ohio River Road on Monday, according to the sheriff's office accident report. Police say she was driving and a sheet of ice blew off one vehicle and crashed through her windshield, leaving her with broken bones and gashes. Her mother says she suffered a broken nose, a broken hand, and gashes. Local fire crews say this was avoidable.
There's enough distractions and things other drivers have to worry about. I'm sure you're probably going to be warming your car up. Take the 2 or 3 minutes to break it up to ensure the safety not only of you, but the other motorists on the road.
According to the accident report, the man driving the other vehicle did not stop. He said he heard ice come off his vehicle, but thought it just hit the road. There's no word on if he will be cited. Members of the House Judiciary Committee passed House Bill 305, known as the Crystal Rogers Act, out of committee yesterday. Crystal Rogers' family was in attendance. This bill is designed to strengthen procedures around grand jury proceedings by preventing anyone attending a grand jury hearing from knowingly recording the proceeding or disclosing any information gathered while present during a proceeding. It would expand the statute of limitations from 1 year to 10 years. The measure now moves to the full House for consideration. Governor Andy Beshear is facing criticism over a risky economic development trip to Europe. The Herald Leader reports Republicans are calling the $40,000 expense a waste of taxpayer dollars, suggesting it's a move to boost his image for a future presidential run. The governor's office defends the travel, saying the trip could bring new jobs and support Kentucky's economy. The governor's flight alone costs about $28,000, with hotels adding another $9,000. Legislation was filed at the House that, if approved, would require state treasurer approval for the governor's out-of-state travel. This morning, the family of Nancy Guthrie is in an emotional new video is explaining directly to their mother's potential abductor. It's been nearly 5 days since the mother of Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie was last seen at her home in Arizona. CBS's Jared Hill has the latest from New York.
Our mom is our heart and our home.
In a gut-wrenching new video, Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie, her brother and sister are pleading for their mother Nancy to be returned safely.
Mama, if you're listening, we need you to come home.
The message as the desperate search for the 84-year-old intensifies into its 5th day. Savannah acknowledging a possible ransom note was sent to multiple media organizations.
We are ready to talk. However, we live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her.
Pima County Sheriff Chris Nano says they still have not identified a suspect or a person of interest. Wednesday night, after a call with Savannah, President Trump said he's directing all federal law enforcement to be at complete disposal to help find Guthrie. Wednesday, investigators are back at her home in Tucson canvassing for clues as the community lifted the Guthries in prayer.
Just truly bowing together to wish and hope Nancy comes home.
A hope held fast by her children.
We will not rest. Your children will not rest until we are together again.
Jared Hill, CBS News.
Late Wednesday, word that the FBI is sending more personnel to Arizona to help in the investigation. A judge canceled a scheduled hearing in federal court regarding the latest documents being released in the Jeffrey Epstein case. It comes after lawyers for Epstein's victims and the Justice Department came to an agreement. The DOJ said it would move quickly to fix the errors, which led to thousands of documents being released that included victim identifying information. The Deputy Attorney General says DOJ lawyers are dealing with a stack of documents that goes as high as 2 Eiffel Towers. The man convicted of trying to assassinate President Donald Trump on a Florida golf course in 2024 learned his sentence yesterday. Ryan Roth will spend the rest of his life in federal prison. Roth's sentencing had initially been set for December, but the judge presiding over the case agreed to move the date back after Roth decided to use an attorney during the sentencing phase instead of representing himself as he did for most of the trial. On Wednesday, the White House border czar announced 700 law enforcement agents will be withdrawn from Minnesota. Tom Homan says the partial withdrawal came after productive talks with state and city officials. Those discussions focused on expanding coordination between local jails and federal immigration authorities. But Homan also made it clear the Trump administration's broader immigration strategy has not changed.
President Trump fully intends to achieve mass deportations during this administration, and immigration enforcement actions will continue every day throughout this country. President Trump made a promise, and we have not directed otherwise.
About 2,000 federal officers now remain in Minnesota. Homan says the full withdrawal is possible, but it is contingent on what stopping what he calls threatening activity against ICE agents. The man accusing of killing one member of the National Guard and injuring another near the White House in November pleaded not guilty in federal court yesterday. The suspect potentially faces the death penalty. WYMT Washington correspondent Brendan Cullerton has the latest from the courthouse.
Federal prosecutors say they are searching for a path to seek the death penalty for Romano Lackenwall. Lackenwall pleaded not guilty to all 9 federal charges, including first-degree murder. Lackenwall is an Afghan national who federal officials say was admitted into the country due to his counterterrorism work for the CIA against the Taliban. Lackenwall allegedly shot 2 members of the Guard in the head back in late November. 20-year-old Sarah Beckstrom died from that attack. 24-year-old Andrew Wolf remains hospitalized following skull reconstructive surgery. Lackenwall himself was injured in that gunfight. He arrived in court in a wheelchair and was provided an Arabic interpreter. He allegedly traveled from Washington State for the attack using a stolen gun from Seattle. His defense argues the government has not proven a motive for first-degree murder. Federal Judge Amit Mehta asked the government for more clarity on whether or not it intends to seek the death penalty, as that would change the trajectory of the trial. The next court date is set for May 6th. In Washington, I'm Brendan Cullerton.
A new analysis suggests university enrollment among African American and Hispanic students at some institutions went up after a Supreme Court ruling in 2023. The nonprofit group Class Action did an analysis of enrollment data since the ruling. It found in 2024 freshman enrollment among minority groups increased by 8% at public flagship universities. At the country's 50 most selective schools, higher rejection rates meant enrollment among Black and Hispanic freshman students dropped. An AI data center plans to redevelop a site in Hancock County in western Kentucky. Here's what's known right now. The company called TeraWolf has plans to redevelop an old Century aluminum site into that AI data center. The TeraWolf website shows the company is known for Bitcoin mining and high-performance computing. The old plant was idled in 2022 due to high energy costs, but restarted production last August.
We don't know exactly terms of permanent jobs. We don't know exactly terms of capital investment or what it's going to mean for the community. So once we can wrap our mind around that, or once we get some clear answers in regards to, water usage and electricity usage, we'll see where we're at there.
Officials say the redevelopment of the Hawesville site is expected to create new jobs, both construction and permanent positions, and generate economic activity for the region.
And we're talking cloudy skies for today. That starts now as we're looking at satellite and radar. You can just see where those clouds are located, primarily for the southern counties, but throughout the day, expect the clouds to just linger on with a slight break this afternoon with partly cloudy skies before once again returning to mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures, though, are going to be very chilly this morning, a mixture of the teens and 20s. And by the time we head into the afternoon, not going to see too much improvement, but the 30s do take over for the later hours of the day. Here's a look at your temperature trend. We'll hit high temperatures around that 4 o'clock time frame. Neely.
Thank you, Megan, and thank you for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning.